Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. Now, I got a couple of things real quick. First, I only had one giveaway winner come back to me this last week. So the three lost arts are all going to go to the same winner. Okami, thank you for responding so swiftly. I will get that into the mail this Wednesday, and I really do hope that you enjoy the little bit of a prize. That said, we've got this week's winners. And those are going to be Thomas Kin, Ludens, and Anthony Martinez. So I'd like to thank you guys again. Just thank you for leaving comments. It means a whole lot. We picked you guys because obviously you guys had some of the best comments. A lot of fun. Kin, you stand out due to the help with clarifying the errata on Necro Valley. Now, I'm sorry that you had to do that for both the deck profiling and also the combos video. But to be honest with you, I filmed them back to back same day, so the one was already like uploaded and scheduled to go. And yeah, I didn't see the comments until afterwards. So I do apologize, but thank you so kindly. You were so nice about helping me correct that. And Necro Valley, yes, way better than it used to be. Way better. So thank you for that. So you guys can email me. And again, the email for that, you can either find that on the info portion on this channel's homepage with the contact me bit, or again, right here, casualduelist78@gmail.com. Let me know who it was. Let me know mailing address. I'd love to send you guys some free cards. It helps clean off the shelf. And thank you guys. Really means everything. And while we're still talking about winners, 2 weeks ago, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, my friends, I picked one based solely on the name, and turns out I was right about who it was. So today's deck is actually going to be a GOAT format deck, and it comes from, turns out, one of my best friends from high school, who was just everywhere in the scene during like the 2005-2006 era of Yu-Gi-Oh! He was one of the best players in our hometown. He was definitely one of the best in the region. At his peak, he was literally second in the state. And that's when you're counting big names like Savage and Diaz as well. I mean, to do so well with such heavy hitters around is fantastic. Now, he's let me know that on Dueling Book. I always want to say network because I just get confused, guys. On Dueling Book, he has taken place in what they're currently doing with the Go format today. And he's clawed his way up into the Obelisk ranking tournaments, which means you got to win some tournaments to even get an invite, because they're invite only. It's not just you sign up. You get there by being one of the best. And that's where he's at. And I didn't have every card physically, and I didn't want to proxy. I wanted to try something new because I'm getting more requests now for decks I don't have the cards to. And due to the COVID, due to lockdown, and not really being able to go and have a true locals, it's really whatever you can afford to get. So today I'm actually going to be using one of my favorite apps, and we're going to see if we can't just get a little closer here. And I'm going to use this to show you guys the deck. So this is his GOAT format Warrior Control. And this thing is just fantastic. So just real quick, we'll just scoot over here. The deck list, it's going to be a little different than what I normally do, and it's clearly going to need some focusing time. So he's running, wow, okay. 3 Blade Knights, 3 Books of Moon, 1 Breaker the Magical Warrior, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Delinquent Duo, 1 Don Zalug, 1 copy of Exiled Force, 1 Graceful Charity, 1 Heavy Storm. We've got 3 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, the single copy Mirror Force. And again, as you can tell, I don't own this card because it's all shadowed out. 2 copies Mystic Swordsman level 2, single Mystical Space Typhoon, double Nobleman of Crossout, single Pot of Greed, single Premature Burial, double Reinforcement of the Army, which again just makes all those Warrior Toolbox, Warrior combo decks really pop when you're dealing with the GOAT control. Again, the single Ring of Destruction, and again, we're going to be using the old school effect. All of these effects, and again, thank you to the community for helping enlighten me on that we are in fact playing it exactly the way it was played back then. So Ring of Destruction is definitely more powerful then. We do have the triple Sakuretsu armor. I need to shove this up a little more. Two Sasuke Samurai number 4s, the single copy Snatch Steel, triple Solemn Judgment, single Torrential Tribute, and triple Trap Dust Shoot. And again, it's a very aggressive control. And you're going to notice Metamorphosis is nowhere on here. There's actually no way to get into the extra deck. So our extra deck is actually empty. We do move off to the sideboard. Come down just a little bit so you guys can see the Osra Priest up there at the top. We are running 2 copies Osra Priest, 2 copies Berserk Gorilla, 1 Blacklister Soldier Envoy at the beginning, and that's a very cool card. We do have the double Compulsory Evacuation Device, the double Dust Tornado, the double Jaugen the Spiritualist, double Smashing Ground, and double Widespread Ruin. Now, again, he goes doubles here because, again, when you're playing a 40-card deck, each 4 cards is like 10% of your deck. By switching into of the same thing, it keeps you from overplaying any particular card while giving you a more consistent way to get it into the deck, essentially swapping out like 5% of your deck. So again, if he found out that there was more back row that he needed to go after, he's going to change 5% of the deck by adding the 2 Dust Tornadoes. Or if the opponent is playing an actual GOAT deck, we're definitely going to be placing in the Osra Priests and the Jaugen. Because, again, we're going to need to limit special summoning. I believe that's what Jaugen did, was limit special summoning. Discard a random card from the hand to the graveyard, destroy all special summon monsters on the field. Another player can special summon monsters. So, yeah, this will disallow your opponent to be able to play a Scapegoat while also just being able to board this card yourself, discard a card, and just watch the board clean itself off anyway. Again, Osra Priest, a little more of an aggressive route there, and it's more of the attacking route. So that's not bad. I hope you guys enjoy this type of thing. Obviously, I don't want to do this too often. I like the feel of real cards in my hand. But this is actually very useful as a tool, and I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. If anybody who is here just for the giveaway announcements, again, Thomas Kinn, Ludens, and Anthony Martinez, go ahead and get at me. Yeah, sorry for my, I tried to put the at way too soon. Get at my email, give me that mailing address. Let me send you some free cards as a thank you for watching and commenting. That email one more time, casualduelist78@gmail.com. If you guys were just here for this list, you guys have a fantastic day. If it helps, maybe consider a subscription. Let your friends know about the channel. But definitely have a great day. Everybody else, let's actually talk about this just a little bit. So just real quick, one of the things, again, Blade Knight was just one of the best warriors in the past. It always gains 400 attack while you have 1 or less cards in your hand. And as long as you have no other monsters on your side of the field, any flip effect monster that it kills in battle gets its effect negated. Starts at 16, potential 2k, light warrior, searchable through your reinforcement of the army. Next up, Book of Moon. Everybody knows Book of Moon. We've been talking about this every day in Speed Duel since its release into Speed Duel. And again, all the same reasons. We can stop some setups. We can stop plays like, again, if your opponent's boarding the single copy of Jinzo they're allowed, excuse me, if they board this single copy of Jinzo that they're allowed and this affects your back row and like Call of the Haunted, something that you actually want to play, again, feel free, book it, whatever. It's fine. Single Breaker, only because Breaker is only allowed at 1 here. And again, still for the back row control, excellent attack stat. Goes from 16, this one goes up to 19, unlike the Blade Knight took 2k. Again, we try to build enough of the boards to be light and dark to make the single BLS boss monster in the sideboard viable. And it's just great. Again, Call of the Haunted. We didn't have Monster Reborn, you make do. And it's a little limited, of course, if the Call of the Haunted itself gets destroyed. So does the monster. In the case of Jinzo, not so much. You can call Jinzo back, and then Jinzo negates that portion of Call of the Haunted's effect, I believe. At least it did back then. I'm not sure if that ruling still stands today, but Go format you play as though you were in the 2005 time period. So the way that the card operated then is the way that the card operates while you're playing, which is fantastic. Again, we got the Delinquent Duo. You pay the 1,000 life points for your activation. The opponent discards a random card from their hand, and then you discard a random card from their hand. And again, they discard one random, and then they have to choose one to discard. But again, we're trying to topple the hand. We're causing a big instability, and we want to remove our opponent's options because, again, in the early game of Yu-Gi-Oh, we dealt with calling things transfers or like 1 for 1, 1 for 2, 2 for 1. We would talk about trade-offs all the time, and Delinquent Duo is one card that's going to get at least 2. And then again, Don Zalug here, just real quick, part of that warrior control aspect. Anytime he inflicts battle damage to the opponent, you get to choose and activate one of the following effects. It's either they discard a card from their hand or mill top 2 from the deck. Again, we would always choose the one from the hand. It's the stronger play. It leaves the opponent with less options. We did use the single exiled force. You contribute this card, target a monster on the field, destroy that target. Very simple effect. Graceful Charity. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 from your hand. Heavy Storm, just destroy all spell traps on the field. Kaiku was actually very good. This allowed us to not only sort of like check our opponent who's playing more of a turbo chaos. And again, this is why we needed to board this character at 3. We need to see this character. We need the consistency, so we need to maximize our potential on this. And again, 1,800 is not a bad stat, but we need the last sentence. The opponent cannot banish cards from either graveyard. This means for anything. It's you don't summon chaos monsters against me. Additionally, when this card does inflict battle damage to the opponent, target up to 2 monsters in the graveyard, their graveyard, banish those targets. Again, maybe they don't have chaos yet. Maybe we know that they can break Kaiku here next turn. Maybe we want to make sure that we've taken the fuel away from chaos. And again, this is why you want to use Kaiku. It's very good. Again, Mirror Force, just staple all the way. The Mystic Swordsman level 2. And I want to say this replaced Sasuke Samurai based solely on stat. At the start of the damage step, if it attacks face down defense position, destroy the monster. And then during the end phase, if it destroyed a monster by its effect, you can send it to the graveyard, special summon a level 4 from the hand of the deck. We don't play level 4. We're using it to wipe out without a flip face down defense position monsters. And again, we're going off the warrior toolbox here. And the double reinforcement of the army is going to make this so viable. The single MST, because you just need it. The double cross out for, again, you notice that we limited, I don't believe that there was a single flip effect here. So we are punishing people who are playing flip effects. And again, if we banish a flip effect that was face down, we destroy the target, banish the card. If it was a flip effect, all players reveal their main decks and banish all cards with the same name. And again, so like you could take out 3 copies of Magician of Faith right out of your opponent's deck immediately. And it stops them from recycling their spells. You don't get to play Pot of Greed multiple times or Graceful Charity multiple times. And that's what it's about. Again, we do have the Pot of Greed. Simple. Just draw 2 cards. Premature Burial, pay 800. This was our Monster Reborn again for our own turn. This allows us to resurrect one of our monsters for 800 life points. And again, when this card is destroyed, so is the monster. Double reinforcement of the army. Any level 4 lower warrior from deck to hand. Ring of Destruction. Target a monster on the field. Destroy it. Both players take damage equal to the attack power. So again, let's just say we did have a Blackluster soldier on the field. And it's our opponent's. We could use Ring of Destruction, destroy the card, and then both people are going to take that $3,000. Again, back then, this could actually end a game in a draw, which could be advantageous to you. So it was pretty cool to see. Sakuretsu Armor is like a mini Mirror Force. You just destroy whatever the attacking monster was. Sasuke Samurai number 4. This is actually pretty niche, and this is one of those cards I just didn't have. And for some reason, it's just not even popping up the actual art on here. I think I need a database reload for this app, which is fine. He's kind of got like a pole arm if you've seen him. He seems to, I think he was wearing like Kabuki type makeup. If this card battles an opponent's monster, toss a coin, call it, and if you call it right, you get to destroy the opponent's monster by effect. This is important because, and again, you pretty much want to use this on face down cards. If this is a card you weren't interested in using, check out Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. He's another 1800. I believe he's a light attribute instead of wind. You could do that. And I would also suggest like a DD Warrior Lady. Again, just getting into that toolbox control form. But this is, again, it's a 50-50. And if we're going after defense, defense wasn't notoriously big unless somebody was taking in Gravekeeper Spy and Guard. So for the most part, you could run into defense and be fine back then. We do run the single snatch steal because it allows us to take our opponent's monster. Now, every turn that we still have that monster during their standby phase, they're going to gain 1,000 life points. Solemn Judgment still as great as it always was. Monster Summon. Should be Monster Summon. When a monsters would be summoned, spell, or trap activated, pay half life, and negate destroy. Torrential Tribute again, amazing. And Trap Dust Shoot, for some reason this one didn't load its art either. Activate when your opponent has 4 more cards in the hand. Look at your opponent's hand, select one monster in it, and return that to the deck. Now, with Trap Dust Shoot on board for this, this is what makes this such an ambitious and exciting deck to be playing. We have, again, like 10 cards in here where we're just attacking our opponent's hand. Maybe it wasn't 10. Let's just do a quick count. Duo, Zalug. Okay, so it's just 5. It's 5 cards that are attacking the opponent's hand. We do have like the best counter trap in the game at the time, and we do have ways of shutting other things off. And again, we really don't worry about flip effects or monster effects for the most part. Anybody going to defense is going to get taken out pretty easily. So that's all fine and well. But it's very ambitious. It's very centric, and it really does set up for the sideboard. And again, the sideboard, Asura Priest can attack all your opponent's monsters once each in a turn, and it bounces itself to the hand. You'll note the light attribute, Berserk Gorilla in here. Just attacks a monster every turn if it can. Just always has to attack. And then does get destroyed if it goes to defense mode, but that has to be a face-up defense mode. So you can book this monster. This monster can get Book-a-Mooned and be just fine. Gravekeeper's Assailant used to beat the crud out of this. And Enemy Controller used to do very well against this card. But it's, again, here just to raise the power cap of the deck. Blackluster Soldiers here for boss monster and control aspect. Compulsory Evacuation Device just bounces a card from field to hand monster-wise. Beautiful. And one of the things that makes it such a great tech, and I'll probably talk about this at the end of the week. I think I'll actually end up choosing that one. It's just the timing. It's the fact that there's no particular setup, like with Torrential. Torrential has to happen to a summon. Compulse, just do it. And it just makes it so versatile. Dust Tornado, again, we only had the single MST at this point, and they had taken away Trunade. So you play 2 Dust Tornadoes. And again, when you're playing this many traps, because you were allowed to play traps against Shinzo, it was only at 1. There wasn't a whole lot of back row hate back then. Slogging through a back row was a thing. This also lets you set up your own trap cards again. So you can activate the Dust Tornado, set a Dust Tornado, or set the Compulsory Evac, or whatever you like. And then as soon as it's your turn again, you can start activating those cards that you can use on your own turn, and just to great effect. Again, real quick, Jaugen, he was able to destroy all special summon monsters on the field at the discard of a random card. So you just basically fan your hand out real quick and pull 1 after you shuffle it face down. And then neither player can special summon monsters while he's on. And again, this helps limit anybody popping scapegoats up on you. it really does put a wrench into the chaos monsters at that time, and there's just a lot of things that get slowed down. And with all the battle traps, the torrential, the mirror force, the sakuretsus, the widespreads. Let's talk about the widespread real quick. This all slows down your opponent and gives Jowgen some time to breathe and help you build your board around it. The widespread, when the opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy one attack position monster that they control with the highest attack. You pick if it's a tie. And again, most of the time they start big back then because Gores wasn't a thing yet. Gores wouldn't be a thing till like, like 2010 or something. Yeah, Gores, he waited some time to come out. And then the last card, Smashing Grounds. It's like Fisher. We destroy a face-up monster the opponent controls. This time, instead of being the lowest attack, it's highest defense. And again, you pick if it's a tie. It's all good. We can do some test draws real quick, just to show you guys, because this app actually does do that. So again, like right here, we see the opening hand of Ring of Destruction, Kaiku, Blade Knight, Trap Dust Shoot, Sakuretsu. I freely throw 3 in the back row. I can pretty much activate all 3 of these immediately. If you're feeling that your opponent's going to go Chaos, if you're feeling like you're playing up against like a Turbo Chaos using Thunder Dragons, you can always throw the Kaiku, then they can't banish them, which would be fine. You could also start the turn with the Trap Dust Shoot as soon as you end your turn. You're already going at their hand, and Blade Knight, being on the field, would already have the being alone and the single card or less in hand. Of course, that's not counting a draw, so like let's add 1 card. MST, that's fine. That's back row as well. So again, we're able to set up a Blade Knight real quick and just go that route if we want. Do another one real quick. Book of Moon, Sakuretsu, Pot of Greed, Blade Knight, Kaiku. You get your draw of Book of Moon, you activate your Pot of Greed, you got Trap Dust Shoot and Reinforcement. Now, I kind of agree with the way that this deck was built. The only thing I really wanted to see, Joe, was I really wanted to see you use Captain a little bit, just for the speed of the extra summoning. And right here would be a cool instance, because again, we got so many back row cards that we can set. And then I would be able to set into a Captain Blade Knight. And then it would just be amazing. Again, we're protecting the Captain with the Sakuretsu. We got the Dust Shoot to nail their hand as soon as their turn starts. And Blade Knight at 2K with double Book of Moon. It's just a great setup. I will try to bring you guys some more GOAT format decks as we go. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you didn't mind the whole tablet this time. But again, if this goes over well, again, there's just some decks I don't have the access to all the cards. And rather than making proxies, this could be a good way of us going about and still getting you guys some good profiles. Unfortunately, I do own most of that deck. It's literally the Sasuke 4s and the Mystic Swordsman. Again, if I would have had the Mystic Swordsman, I would have gone ahead and I would have just subbed in the DD Warrior Lady and the Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, because those were good options. And they were definitely available at the time. I'm pretty much circling back on myself, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a lovely and wonderful day. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys with our next video.